What is up, everybody? Welcome back to Hot Take. Today we are in a 1996 Volvo 850R, but this is not just any Volvo 850R. This one has quite a bit done to it. We have the owner here, Emmanuel. Emmanuel, tell us what has been done to this crazy beast.
Well, it's had a engine swap to an RN motor, so it has almost the same motor. It's a straight 5 with a turbo. It has a 19T turbo from a 2000 V70R, and the motor is a year-only motor from the 2003 Volvo C70.
It's got a different engine and a bunch of other mods, a bunch of gauges. But let's go ahead and hop on the road and see how it drives. We'll talk about the 850R and a bunch of other Volvo bits.
If you need to back up anymore, you can.
Oh, yeah. A little rumbly. It's all good. Very rumbly. Do you have aftermarket mounts on here?
Mounts?
Yeah, I feel like I saw something poly in the engine bay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
For the transmission and for the engine, because the factory ones shifted out. Like the little thing, the little polyurethane thing,
yeah,
shifted out, so I had to beef those up. This car has a lot of torque, dude.
Okay, all right, well, nice. Yeah. Wait, is that exterior temp or is that coolant temp?
That's exterior temp. That's obviously inaccurate.
Oh, apparently it's 112 out right now.
It has to adjust itself.
Yeah, no worries. Okay. Ooh, it's got a good sound though. Lots of turbo noise. Okay, so some initial impressions. Gas pedal is extremely heavy. Or not extremely heavy, but a lot heavier than you would expect. Of course, we kept the automatic transmission. So you've told me before why you kept the automatic, but tell the viewers.
Well, I just don't have the money right now. It's $3,000 to swap everything.
Is that just in parts?
Parts and labor. I have a guy that helps me out with this car.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Would it be more expensive than that for most people that do not have a guy?
Probably.
Okay.
They'll probably DIY it themselves.
Yeah, right. So you could put a manual in here, but honestly, so far I'm kind of liking the automatic.
Yeah.
Was this a 4 or 5-speed auto?
4-speed.
4-speed auto. Oh, I love that. Dude, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Even with the 4-speed automatic. Right, so I want to talk about the Volvo lineup a little bit. So you said this is an 850R,
yes, but
they also have the 850 and the 850 Turbo. What are like some of the differences between all of them?
Well, the difference between the 850 Turbo, it's not really that much of a difference. Only like 20 horsepower and just like a different appearance package.
Yeah.
It has a lot of nicer stuff inside. Obviously this wood grain, and the steering wheel has like a gray on the bottom, gray stitching.
Yeah, looks good. It won't be too scary to the bikers.
Yeah. It also has an R-specific bumper, which is like one of the hardest parts to find to replace.
Yeah, so you don't want to lose that.
Yep.
Well, for any reason.
Yeah.
Oh, so if I go into L in the transmission, will that kind of hold the lower gear?
I believe so. I haven't really played around, but...
Can I try it?
Yeah, go ahead.
That's exactly what it does. Oh, there's your pops.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's exactly what it does. It just holds the lower gear. What do you think it's holding right now? Like 2?
Maybe? I want to say 3rd?
2 or 3 maybe, yeah.
We hit 15 pounds of boost there.
15?
Yeah.
Is that max boost?
No, max is 21.
Oh, there's a lot more where that came from then.
Yeah, you have to do like 80 though.
put into Elm. Noted. How much we hit there?
I think it did like 18.
Wow. So yeah, this thing's it's pretty quick.
Yeah.
The automatic transmission, I mean, I guess it hinders it a little bit because the gearing's long, but
yeah,
it has the torque.
But you definitely need a transcooler, and this has that, so it can handle it.
Is that because it has more power, so for the extra torque you need the extra cooling?
Yeah.
Okay.
It can only, the transmission can only handle about 350 horsepower from what I've heard. I've heard that at 325 it gets a little sketchy.
A little sketchy.
Yeah.
So you're making like 300, so you're kind of in that safety net of reliability.
Yeah.
Yeah, it still shifts pretty nicely, doesn't slip or act funny. It's really nice. So the transmission does kind of give you a little bit of, I don't know, you don't really, I'll say feel the shifts. It's your average 4-speed slush box, honestly.
Yeah.
But I've kind of gotten an appreciation for these types of transmissions in the world of modern transmissions where they're all instantaneous, super fast, right? It took a second there to kind of downshift, and then you kind of feel it grab the gear and the boost comes on. It's a cool feeling.
Oh yeah. Very addicting, for sure.
Very addicting. It dropped you right on the power band. Try 3. Oh, it's probably 3rd.
Yeah.
I mean, right, why wouldn't it be, right?
Yeah. Oh.
Hello.
Oh, that's new.
That is definitely new. Road closed. Brakes have good punch. That you need in this car. So tell us a little bit about the engine swap. Why did you go with this engine specifically, as opposed to like a stock one? You said this car had problems when you bought it. If you want to talk about what you paid for it, just kind of give us a
rundown.
Rundown.
All right. So, well, when I first got the car, I didn't know anything about it. I knew I had to do a couple of things. I did some research. I found a YouTube channel called Robert DIY. He is the Volvo Master.
Volvo Master.
Yes. So I found out I had to get some things replaced. I was going to shop, and it wasn't that great.
No, I mean, there probably isn't a lot of people that know how to work on these cars, right?
Yeah, there really isn't.
They're more niche platform.
So I drove the car as it was when I bought it for like 6 months, and apparently it had a blown head gasket.
You just didn't know?
Yeah, I did not know. So I eventually found someone on the Facebook groups, VOM, Volvos of Michigan.
Yeah.
And I've been with him ever since. And when it came up to replacing the engine, I was doing a data log for my tuner.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to do from a certain speed, and it was pretty fast. It was like 90 to probably like 110 or something like that.
Yeah.
And when the engine starts knocking, the check engine light flashes on the dash.
Even when they're stock, or just the tune did that?
The tune lets you know that the engine's knocking, so you have to let off the gas.
Right.
So I let off the gas. Then I go home and I'm like, that was weird. So I turned the car off when I get home, and then turn it back on. As soon as I turn it back on, white smoke comes out the back.
Oh no.
And I knew it was not good.
Why my engine?
Yeah. So I think I bent a rod. And
Did you figure that out after the fact, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not good. That's pretty close to one of your worst case scenarios.
Yeah. Literally everything that has happened to this car is probably the worst things that can happen to this car.
Oh my
I've
god.
been through it. heater core blowing out, engine swap, blowing out every seal in the engine. I've done that. Pretty much almost every seal.
Eventually, you just gotta get to the point where you're like, ah, whatever, I'll just swap it.
Yeah.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah. Because I mean, this is my only car as my daily driver, so I was on the hunt for like 2 to 3 weeks for this new motor. Me and my guy Will Fry.
Yeah.
So we found one for $650.
Well, there you go.
The cracked oil pan.
Well, that's just an oil pan.
Yeah. So it's a pretty rare motor from what I heard, and I was
Well, you said it was one model year specific, right?
Yeah. So it has pretty much all desirable parts on it.
Well, that's cool. Go back into D. Kind of let it do its thing. I found this transmission kind of likes to hunt gears. It really likes to kind of like keep finding gears. It doesn't like to just get in a gear and stay in it.
Yeah, it's like that sometimes.
It's not really a good or bad thing, just an observation.
Yeah.
So something I'm noticing, the steering feel is not that great, and the suspension, like I feel like there's a lot of, yeah, look at that, a lot of dead on center. So when you're kind of mid corner, you got to know where that is and kind of feel it out so that you know where the car is. Have you noticed that too?
Yeah, there's a couple things I gotta still replace. I gotta do subframe bushings. Probably gotta do a new rack too. So
steering rack? Oh, okay,
yeah.
That could certainly play an effect in that. Love that.
Oh yeah, never gets old, man.
Right?
We hit 20 pounds.
20 pounds of boost. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Well, I said 22 is the highest.
Oh, 21 is what I hit. It kind of like bounces.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's okay. Swap car things or old turbo car things.
Yeah.
Either or. You know, I've always kind of liked Volvo 850s, but they're too nichey for me to get into because they're like, you really got to love the car, and like you have to know yourself, or you have to know the guy that knows, or you're gonna be a fish out of water.
Yep. That's what I was at the beginning.
I was hoping it would pop in the tunnel. Or the overpass. Kind of has a mind of its own, I think.
Yeah, you gotta kind of learn the car and how it feels.
Yeah. You know, it's funny, because the gearing's so long, second gear is actually a pretty good gear for general performance driving. Because usually in a lot of cars I'm using third. Not in here. 2 is plenty.
This is a highway car, so once you get on the highway, bam!
Right? Yeah, I can imagine. Love the pops every time you let off at that those speeds.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's why you buy the Turbo 5s.
Yeah, these things pull.
They pull. Good torque. That concludes our test drive of the engine swapped Volvo 850R. Overall, it was a really cool experience. I think the 300 horsepower in this car is a pretty potent number. And we just lost our audio. 300 horsepower is a pretty potent number. This transmission, the 4-speed auto, you'd think it would hurt the car a lot. I'm sure the manual's nicer, but it's actually kind of a good transmission paired with this, especially with the boost lag. It kind of creates a cool experience because the automatic transmission gets up to like whatever 6,500 RPM, comes down, you feel a drop out of the boost, it builds back up again. Really fun, kind of retro turbo car experience. I like it. Thank you, Emmanuel.
You're welcome.
Coming on to the channel. Want to plug your Instagram?
Night Volvo 2000.
Night Volvo 2000s, and then what is the Volvo Club?
The Night Swedes.
The Night Swedes.
Yeah.
Yeah, go give them a follow if you want to see more Volvo content. But we're going to go ahead, give this 850 a score. Utility. This modified 1996 850R rides a little rough. At lower speeds, it vibrates from the aftermarket motor and trans mounts. Once you get going, it's not too bad. Space is average for a mid-size sedan like this. My rear legroom is good, but surprisingly my head was on the headliner. However, what you lack in headroom, the 850 makes up for in trunk space. Utility-wise, it's worse than expected for a car like this, but not terrible. It gets a 4.5 out of 10. Features. The Volvo 850R has a lot of features for a car from its era. 8-way adjustable power seats, 3 memory settings, dual zone climate, etc, etc. The materials are also very nice for a car like this. Some cheap plastic, but carpet leather where they could afford to, it gets 5 out of 10. MPG. It's hard to gauge the average MPG on a car like this. The owner said he's gotten around 17 city and 20 highway. Stock has an average of 19. I think it's safe to give it a 4 out of 10. Cool factor. The Volvo 850R is already pretty cool by itself. Low production sports sedan with a weird engine and of course the obligatory Porsche aided development. This one takes it further with a rare motor swap and some tasteful upgrades. This car isn't anything crazy, but I think it deserves a 6.5 out of 10. Driver's feedback. Driver's feedback is average for a 90s sports sedan like this. The steering feels a little vague, but the pedals communicate nicely. Furthermore, the automatic transmission was more responsive than the average 90s slush box. It gets 4.5 out of 10. Acceleration. Stock, these do 0 to 60 in 7 seconds. I'm guessing this one shaves off anywhere from half a second to a full second. The transmission hurts the time a lot, but I'll give it a 4.5 out of 10. Should you buy it? No doubt these are rare and cool, but a swap car like this comes with a lot of drawbacks, especially on a niche platform like this with less support than others. Value to buy the car isn't too bad, but the time and energy that is required to keep a car like this going will turn away most people. I'll give it a 5 out of 15, putting it here on our list. The should you buy it kills this one. The only car with a lower score is the E60 M5. While being worse to own, at least that car has an owner's manual in which you can follow to fix it. As a car, this car competes in the ballpark of the E36 M3 so far on the list, but I think this doesn't quite hold up to the E36 M3 from a performance side. It's a little less connected and a bit larger. This engine swapped 850R is fun to drive, but it isn't perfect. Other than the sweet 5-cylinder noise and the beautiful styling, there's nothing that really draws me to this car over other alternatives. That said, if you want a unique but familiar, relative to 90s cars, experience, an engine swap Volvo 850R might be right up your alley.